Welcome, wonderful people of Speed Gaming, to a Link to the Past Randomizer Speed Gaming Daily Race. My name is Lucien Greeth. I am joining the commentator booth by Mayan DM. How are you doing tonight?
Yeah, pretty good, all things considered. We touched 40 here very briefly today, and that's not the happiest thing in the world, but now it's time for some rando instead. We've got Map Compass Shuffle on the table this evening. Map Compass Shuffle just means that all the maps and the compasses are shuffled into the general pool, so there are a couple of more items, potentially, in each dungeon, which incentivizes dungeon diving just a little bit more than it is normally. That's the only change. This is not the tournament mode. This is not MD boss shuffle. The bosses are all going to be in their vanilla locations, or at least they certainly should be.
Yep, and we are joined by our tracker tonight, Jinxie Girl. Always there to help track. Tonight our race is between Top Specialist and Power to Mario. So we are close to getting underway here in just a moment, making our final preps for the race room.
Yeah, well, those are our two featured runners. It looks like we've got a field of 10 for the race this evening, so ought to be a lot of excitement to be had.
Definitely. It's always good when we get a good, healthy group of racers. I'm trying to figure out what Top Specialist's sprite is. Is that Growlithe?
I have no idea. I was looking at Tanuki Mario over there on Power to Mario's side and thinking, well, I'm not sure. And then I looked over at the other one and I thought, well, I'm really not sure.
I want to guess it's Growlithe. Alright, we are underway. And Link breaks open Uncle's piggy bank to get some cash on his way out of the house.
Nice to have a little free bomb money just in case none of them happen to show up here in the next handful of checks.
Well, I think we found our bombs.
Yep, alright, now it's just free bottle vendor check money. That's all.
I'm not going to make it, Link. I have 20 bucks.
Bit of a French vanilla sword position there, though. Looks like Top Specialist is angling for a front of escape play off of that sword.
Yeah, that's always kind of the dream with doing the Uncle starter, is picking up a weapon, a usable weapon from Uncle, and just taking that right into front of escape.
Now, when you've got the 8 bomb pack on Tier 1 tree pole, you have functional bomb escape if you really want it. Now, a lot of runners don't, but it's a thing that could have been done under other circumstances.
Yeah, in an open seat, I'm willing to bet a lot of people shy away from doing bomb escape. I feel like it'd be pretty time consuming.
We saw a bit of an attempt at left slash there from Power to Mario, not quite making it work, but you can see the beginnings of what is the fastest NMG strat through that room there.
Yeah, I need to get around to playing NMG. I keep telling people I will, but I don't.
Oh, just play vanilla preset instead. It's all of the rando conveniences you've come to know and love, including your own sprite, MSUs. You can slow down the heart beeps, and all of the text boxes are gone conveniently enough. But you still have to play the entire game, which is usually the intention when you start playing something like NMG. You're trying to get better at playing the whole game.
Yeah, I should probably give that a try sometime. So for all intents and purposes, except for doing the rest of Escape, we're basically watching a standard seed here.
Except there's no guarantee that the small key is going to be in Dark Cross. It can't be here in the cell by key logic unless you are doing an actual standard start. So, yeah, Top Specialist going to go ahead and save quit out of here after picking up that 3 hundo. Probably going to see the same play from Power to Mario.
Yeah, no mirror. Like maybe if you had the mirror, you could maybe make a attempt at the Dark Cross, but without that mirror, it's just that's a whole lot of time.
It's reasonably quick on 3 hearts green mail if you want to set the Death Warp up. That ball and chain guard would have done a full heart of damage. The green and blue guards are going to do a half heart no matter what your mail is, and when you only have 3 of them, that'll get done pretty quick if you really want to go there. But, sometimes you don't.
And Bush Crab getting a little extra cash.
Worth having, inching towards Zor money at this point. No thanks to that 50 on Lumberjack, so we can scratch that reason to defeat Aga 1 off of the list of things that could cause us to do Castle Tower in this seed.
Unless you want the hardest $50 you'll ever earn in this game.
Yep, as soon as you get a glove, that would be a very bad return on time invested, because you could just go lift that rock over by desert and get 50 a pop. That mushroom is, close, but not quite, game.
A lot of French vanilla. Like everything's just not quite so far. I wonder, assuming you go the standard route of going to the South Shore after doing CAC, wonder if either of the two runners will take the time to do a fake flipper from the swamp area to turn in that mushroom early.
Yeah, anytime you're fresh off of a save and quit, you're in pretty good position to go ahead and turn that mushroom in. That way you can save scum it just in case it doesn't turn into anything useful, and then you've got it for later. It's the only snack you can take with you in this game. Now, we were talking about why we wouldn't do Aga for those 50 bucks on Lumberjack Ledge, but the seed certainly seems to be hinting in that direction, at least at the moment now, doesn't it?
Yeah, we got a lantern and 1 sword, so we're just Master Sword pickup away from... Or no, we got the cape. So
got the cape.
Aga is in logic right now, so...
And it looks like 3 hundos are everywhere. Alright.
Game's starting out some pretty heavy Aga vibes.
Now, suddenly, with the addition of that bow, that does mean that Eastern Palace is on the tip. Ooh, that's a really convenient spot to find that flute.
Yeah, the only place that was... I guess this is more convenient, but one time I had, with Mirror in hand as well, Blind had the flute in one of my playthroughs. So, that was nice.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
To answer the question in chat, the big thing about Map Compass Shuffle, we don't know where the pendants or crystals are. The maps will tell us what's what. And what do the compasses do in this mode?
Those will give you the counters on the number of items you've collected and have remaining in the dungeon.
Okay, so maps are infinitely more valuable than compasses right now.
Yep, if we had the boss shuffle element of that, then the compass is what will allow you to know what the boss has been replaced with, or potentially replaced with in some cases. But in this regular old MC Shuffle, yeah, the compass, you're not really looking for them.
Yeah, so the compass is turned into okay, whatever, kind of pick up.
Just something that pads out the rest of the item checks, kind of like 20 rupees, 3 bombs, 10 sticks.
Yeah. So I guess the question for our two racers, as well as everyone else in the race room, presumably right now, is this going to be an Agassi? Because right now it is sending out some pretty heavy vibes.
Decidedly hinting in that direction, we do have a little bit of divergence already. Howard and Mario going to go ahead and ask about our green pendant formation. Turtle Rock is the answer.
Turrock is never a bad place for a pendant. Turrock, ooh, Pearl.
That is a bit of the last piece of the Go Do Aga puzzle. Now, there's enough left over, especially with that bow, and Eastern in MC Shuffle is not 3 items worth of density, but 5. You're going to have to find the big key, and then everything else is an item of some kind. So, still a few options here for a potential bypass of that Aga play.
Yeah, I feel like the odds are more likely than not at this point, because we still need gloves and or hammer and mitts. Or I'm sure what I just said was close to correct. I might have garbled the English there a bit.
Yeah, I'd say we got there more or less. Let's see, what is Top Specialist going to go ahead and set up a fake flipper here? Is that what's going on?
I was gonna meet a crab.
Yeah, the crab is going to put the kibosh on anything that Top Specialist was planning there. But with the flute, you can get back to most places in the light world relatively quickly.
Yeah, I was trying to act clever by saying you could like fake flipper up to mushroom trip, but then I figured you just got the flute anyway. No need to get fancy. I wonder if it's quicker to get to Mini Moldorm from 8 or 7. I've never actually really timed it.
I'm reasonably certain the answer is 7, but it might not be. It's certainly safer to get there from 7.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm like erring on the side of, but like I said, I've never actually sat down and timed it. Okay, so nothing Mini Moldorm, so not a whole lot of logical checks left.
Couple of checks up the mountain, and the rest of the things in Eastern Palace, I think, is about the size of it, plus or minus that mushroom turn-in.
And our good friend Agina.
Ah, of course, everyone's second favorite elder.
Which honestly, usually Agina is like, if you're faced with Aga or Agina, usually you just kind of pull the trigger on an Aga play. But with the flute, Agina's not terrible.
The flute really is one of those items that makes a lot of things just that much more convenient. You can say, well, normally I would leave this off, but why leave it off when I can just pop the flute over to whichever number it is you need to go to and go have a quick look-see. This Eastern Palace play seems to be coming up pretty dry as well, however.
Yeah, but we do know from Top Specialist that this is in fact a crystal. Whether it's blue or red, we don't know until we get it, but this is a crystal dungeon. So if nothing else, we'll at least get that knocked out.
Going to be a pleasant surprise for Power to Mario. Top Specialist knows exactly what the dungeon has in store.
I honestly think when your back's against the wall with this few checks left, I don't care what this dungeon is. I'm clearing it.
The Red Igors got away just a little bit, but kind of, I was going to say going to clean them up on round 2, and then round 2 kind of went awry as well.
Very nice quick kill and nothing.
Yeah, these 5-item dense locations not coming in all that handy at the moment. Both the Mini Moldorm Cave, which I expect Mario is going to go to here in the near future, and Eastern Palace, which pretty soon both of our runners are going to have done, just not really having the goods.
Power Mario showing disrespect to his elders by setting the witch on fire.
Sometimes you're mashing just a little too hard. And sometimes the game says, you know what, I really want to make sure that you have the equipment that lets you into Aga Tower, because you're going to need to go there in the near future.
Yeah, the game is so adamant about sending you to Aga, it tripled down on swords.
Plus the cape.
Yeah, and the cape.
Here, you can have a sword and a cape, or you can have 2 swords, or 3 swords, and you still have the cape, so yeah, go do Aga.
And then just for good measure, we'll get the gold sword on Old Man.
I'm not sure how many Aga seeds I've actually played where you wind up with all 4 swords before making the Aga play. It's not as common as winding up with 3, that's for certain.
In Agassi, where I need Dark World access, I can't think of any off the top of my head. In Agassi, where I've done it for Lumberjack access late in the game, I think it's happened once or twice.
Yeah, that's certainly more likely. And in something like All Dungeons, where you're trying to put it off to the very end of the game and you've done literally everything else, then it's reasonably common.
So Power to Mario is really only left with the Old Man Spectacle Rock checks and the Gina. I think is all something logic. Oh, Squidly, rating with Party 5. Welcome to the Link to the Past Daily Race.
Yeah, welcome in everybody. You're getting in on pretty close to the ground floor of this. It's looking an awfully lot like an Aga seed here. We're featuring Top Specialist and Power to Mario here. And our mode is Map Compass Shuffle, which means it's an open 7-7 seed where the maps and the compasses are shuffled into the general pool rather than hiding out in their dungeons all the time.
Power Mario is just doing everything in his power to not do Aga by selling the Fake Flipper.
It's understandable if you can avoid the Aga play, but at what cost? Because it is going to take you 4 minutes-ish to go ahead and climb that tower and deal with the wizard, depending on how unwelcoming of a wizard Aga happens to be today.
Aga seems like he's pretty committed to making us suffer today, so I'd say maybe he's just gonna rack those blue balls up.
Speaking of blue things, blue mail from the hobo there under the bridge. The very shirt off his back. True commitment to the saving of Hyrule.
Like, here you go. No one sees me down here anyway. I don't need clothes. Ooh, Power Mario just had a brush with a game crash there, so luckily avoids that Zora fireball.
Yeah, it's a change that the developers made to the randomizer that goes back to mimicking the original vanilla game style rather than the change that had been made quite some time ago to cause you to automatically die when you get hit while fake flippering. Instead, it tries to put you back where you splashed in the first place, and the game will eventually catch up to what you're supposed to be doing, but it can, in some cases, take north of a minute to do so.
Alright, looks like Top is foregoing the mountain, maybe doing Rest of Escape into Aga play, which is... I feel like if you're in Escape at this point, you're committing to Aga.
And either the glove is locking the small key in the back, where the small key is going to be right here in Dark Cross. Looks like Top Specialist is going to go ahead and take some damage in advance. Yep, going to warp right back to the beginning of the dungeon, having not found that small key. This certainly is looking like the Aga play. Meanwhile, as Chase Sauer so helpfully points out in chat, Scamfish scams again. Film at 11.
And the Scamfish scams again, forever.
Entering right on the 20-minute mark, so we can get a pretty decent idea of just how much time this is going to cost. Now, it is looking an awful lot like this is going to be a 100% required cost. But if Power to Mario finds something up here on the mountain, has a couple of opportunities, then who knows?
Oh, there's some for Sick Kid.
That was the second bottle that Mario's found. The first one was in Saha's closet, which Top Specialist did not visit.
Oh, boy. That's going to be a rude awakening when it gets to Dark World.
Luckily, that bottle in Saha's closet had blue potion in it because Mario was about to take a cabbage right to the head. That'll end your trip up Death Mountain really quick now, won't it?
Yep, sure will. Oh, a hammer, which does so close. Oh, so close to greatness.
You certainly want to have it. It's going to give Power to Mario more options entering the Dark World. It gives you full clear access to Palace of Darkness. You can go south through those hammer pegs and go to Hype Cave and carry on all the way over to the Dig Game if you really want to. Not an option that Top Specialist is going to have.
Top Specialist, as we know, isn't going to have any options on Dark World entry because that Moon Pearl is sitting in Aga's closet.
And without even the benefit of a mirror, is going to check the ledge there on the pyramid, and, well, it could be something. It'd be really interesting if it was something like the hook shot.
Meanwhile, Power Mario gives us a quick look at what the map knowledge we have so far. Misery Mire is a red crystal, Palace of Darkness is a blue crystal, and we got confirmation from Saha that Turtle Rock is the green pendant. Oh, okay. Top Specialist holds on to that ledge.
Just barely. Everybody can breathe now. Exhale, everyone.
Yeah, so if Sikin has the gloves, then this is a big advantage to Power to Mario.
Yep, into the wizard 2 minutes and 54 seconds after entering the tower. That's pretty quick, all things considered.
Yep, and this is going to be Power to Mario's last stop.
Last available location, let's see.
It's a piece of his heart. Sick kid was sick from heart failure anyway, so he wasn't using it. Was that too dark?
Nah, I think we can work with that one. So we're going to be just a hair over 4 minutes of time on the Agaplay, but 100% required Agaplay. Power to Mario going to see this 20 rupees the top specialist has already shown us in Dark Cross and come to the realization that, well, this is all I got. Gotta make the play.
Power to Mario's got a little bit of a harder time death warping, picking up that blue mail.
Luckily, although it seems that he does not know it, the ropes have the same property as the guards, where they're always going to do a half-hearted damage to you, regardless of your mail level.
I actually didn't know that. That's good to know.
Now, Top Specialist may have a problem here. Opting for the mountain play before the play to Saha's Closet, you have to wonder if the recognition is there that there was a check skipped.
Here's hoping, because you never like to see that happen to anyone.
Going to come up here, see the bombos on top, see the hammer inside, grab the hammer, and the hammer does not change the calculation here in the slightest.
Yeah, it's good to have, but does not change the situation at hand.
%100% required item to beat the seed, but does not open any checks right now.
Alright, I think we're heading over to Saha from here. I'm doing the bottle turn-in. Alright, I think this is going to be the Saha play.
Yep, at least fluting to the right location. Whether or not you're sure that you've checked it, this is where you need to be. So, Top Specialist may have a very slight advantage at the end of the AGA and otherwise finding Dark World access portion of the program here, because the Moon Pearl is about to fall to hand, while Power to Mario still has about 45 seconds to a minute to play with the wizard.
All right, so I guess with that, well, I guess you just only have one entry into Dark World right now, don't you?
Yep, gonna have to go direct to 4 and walk in through the castle gate. At least now with that hammer to go along with the Moon Pearl, there are some options.
I guess you go. You've got the bow, you got the hammer. Pod is an option.
Yeah, bow, hammer, lantern to make it fully logical. There's a lot to be said for just going in and doing that, especially in Map Compass Shuffle, the extra couple of items worth of density. And that map check from Top Specialist, we do know it's crystal.
He's getting harassed by those moblins.
Does not have that blue mail that Power to Mario pulled off of an out-of-logic flipper check.
Oh, he gets bodied by a Hinox. I think there's, personally, because you're not going back to the Eastern area likely ever again this seed. You've already cleared Eastern itself. Pod is fully in logic clearable. Definitely would be a good play to, which seems to be where Power Mario is going.
Just go ahead and wipe that part of the map off of the things that you need to worry about going forward until and unless you pick up the green pendant. Makes a lot of sense.
Meanwhile, it looks like Top is going to opt to go the South Dark World check, go in the Hype Cave, Stumpy, Dig Game.
And going to get official full 5-6 crystal knowledge. Thieves Town and Misery Mire.
Alright, good to know. Thieves Town will also be fully clearable. It's going to be, well, no, not at the moment yet. We don't have access to that part of...
Getting there is the difficult part. Once we can get there, full clearing it logically is easy, but we're going to need some kind of access, either a glove or the hookshot. Looks like we're not immediately bow locked in Pod while we've got Ice Rod in Hype Cave.
Hype Cave always living up to his name. Let's say Hype Cave or Ice Rod. Hype Cave living up to his name. So far, Power Mario is getting the standard Pod key logic.
What, doesn't everybody like Palace of Keys?
Yeah, it's my favorite dungeon. Oh, that's disrespectful, Top Specialist. That man gave you bombs with his dying breath and just give one back. Alright, so regardless of the pickup here... Oh, okay, I guess it's red rubies. So I was going to say, regardless of the pickup here, that's pretty much the end of the route for Top Specialists.
Yeah,
even though it was
that
gloves.
is the end of the road there.
So I guess that leaves Pod as the only location?
For the moment, until something else comes out of it. Seems pretty likely that it's going to be a glove. If not a glove, then a hookshot. And if not either of those things, then I guess a mirror gets us up into Tower of Hera and over onto East Death Mountain.
Well, we did get our glove, so there's that mystery solved.
Now, it is Palace of Darkness. It having more than one thing would not be the most surprising outcome in the world.
Oh no, definitely not.
And if not, well, you're still missing so many things that it's pretty obvious that your opponent is going to full clear the dungeon as well, so you don't feel all that bad about spending the time, even if you get nothing but the glove and the crystal.
Yeah, that glove definitely opens up a lot of options. Easier access into a couple Dark World locations, although we're never coming back to this area, most likely. And mitts, double glove pod.
Okay, game, why not? So now we can do more interesting things, like go to the mire area. We can't quite do Ice Palace out of logic yet. We'd need some kind of a melt source first. But at the very least, getting over to Mire, finding out what medallion you're looking for as a runner can be pretty nice. Plus you get those 2 quick checks in the Mire Shack.
Yeah, I always like doing that as a quick first, whether I get the flute or the mitts, whichever comes second. It's a nice, quick, easy check. You get a little bit of game knowledge, especially if Meyer is crystal.
Now, it looks like Power to Mario is going to be walking out here instead of taking the Death Warp and going back to the boss that way. It's a choice.
Oh, that last mimic just juked the arrow.
They do that every once in a while.
Although, is it a juke if like you force them to juke?
Requires more research. Interesting the top specialist chose to go down the Bowlock side first and then Death Warp out of it, even though our runners have had the hammer for a little while now.
Yeah, definitely a pretty common play without the hammer, but I mean, I guess it's not a huge loss of time, but it is there.
Yeah, no, it's not a bad play. It's just an interesting choice that you don't see all that often. It's probably mildly slower, but it lets you hang on to more of your hit points. At least theoretically. Well, I'm kind of mixing the two runners' things. I'm talking about Power to Mario's choice of not Death Warping back to the start while Top Specialist then takes the Death Warp. But having fewer hearts to work with, I don't know that... Yeah. Just going to go ahead and continue taking those free trips back to the front of the dungeon. Alright.
Now, see, Power Tomorrow is going to have a nice time through, because a good route would be to go South Dark World, loop it up into Village of Outcasts, and finish that route up into Thieves Town and maybe Skull Woods, depending on what you find along the way.
Yeah, especially if you can manage to get your grubby paws on a fire rod, would make that nice and convenient. Now, again, the whole map compass shuffle thing makes dipping into Skull Woods, even if you don't have that fire rod, just a little more valuable, since there are 4 potential items in there rather than 2.
Looks like Power to Mario just read my mind.
It certainly is looking that way, isn't it?
Or maybe he's listening to the broadcast right now. Hi.
We'll see. You know, waggle your sword in the Konami code if you're tuning in.
Oh, I guess that theory's been debunked.
Maybe not tuning in.
Well, we got a rod, just not the one we need right now.
Yeah, you have to imagine that both of these runners now have seen that ice rod and are thinking, wait a minute, I know that, well, at least, I don't know, did Top Specialist have the chat with Sahasrara? Because we know Power to Mario did.
That's a good question. I don't think he did.
That was a decidedly less free trip back to the front of the dungeon. That one cost 3 bombs. Now, heading for the boss, you're going to get 2 of them back free of charge when you pick up the pots that lead to the switch, so... Given that those are resources that you don't get a choice but to pick up anyway, I don't know that it's all that costly in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, especially with Pod, because Pod has quite a few free bomb pickups in the front lobby. There's 2 in the middle room under the 2 pots. All right. Oh, no, never mind. I was supposed to say let's start heading to Thieves Town. Not quite yet.
I do feel that it makes a little more sense to do these outside checks first in situations where you don't have something like, say, the boots. Because Thieves Town has all of those nice long straightaways, and the boots just make life in here a whole lot nicer.
Oh yeah, definitely. Jinxie Go confirming for us in chat that Top Specialist did not have a chat with Saha, so seeing that Ice Rod might spooked him a little bit more than Power to Mario.
Top Specialist was down to 1 heart there. Anything in this fight aside from walking into the spikes, and walking into the spikes in this boss fight is nearly impossible, will do 2 hearts of damage. So I can understand wanting to spin the blue there just for safety, even though no damage coming in whatsoever. Gonna go ahead and take care of that Homosaur King, even this crystal count up between our runners at 2.
That's always my experience. When you potion up during a boss fight, it's just no damage from there on out.
The safety is as much a mental thing as it is a game mechanic thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I was assuming it gives me like the courage to fight better.
Thieves Town, I feel, is maybe one of the more interesting dungeons. It has kind of the same property as Eastern, where it has the big key and, in the case of Thieves Town, the small key, and then you're just looking at items all the way down, and suddenly it feels like a really dense dungeon.
Yeah, when Thieves Town hits, it hits hard for item count. I think, was that either for Meyer?
That was Ether for Meyer. We can say that it's a medallion we don't have yet, but we have no medallions yet, so that's a true truth all the way down.
Ooh, the hook shot. That's a nice pickup in the Meyer area.
Go get your Meyer information, get your hook shot, and now you have essentially all of Light and Dark Mountain available. I would not be surprised to see Top Specialist eschew the play over to the Village of Outcasts, Thieves Town, Skull Woods area for a little bit. Especially lacking that knowledge of what Turtle Rock is on the Pendant Crystal scale.
Yep, and you got all those nice fancy checks on both Death Mountains. Great lucky opportunities.
Taking a bit of an unfortunate hop off there while trying to get around the Dead Rock. It's a thing that happens. I've done it recently.
Anyone who's listened to Con before knows I always say Dead Rocks were the worst thing created by this series.
Some developer was having a very bad day that day.
Yeah, so some poor troubled soul at Nintendo just one day decided to have the world share in his pain. And then come Link Between Worlds, they revisited the subject. Like, okay, we'll make Dead Rocks less annoying, but we're also going to add we're going to triple the counts of Light Elves on Death Mountain.
Power Mario is very decidedly off script here, but seems to be in okay shape. Has gotten into Phase 3. And takes down Blind.
Meanwhile, Top Spot, ooh, there's that Fire Rod. Nice pickup. Meanwhile, Top Specialist takes that hook shot he got from the Meyer area and immediately finds the key to Meyer.
Yeah, it's a little bit of key under the doormat, but not quite. Now, Power to Mario also did pull the flippers from in there somewhere, and I think we both neglected to mention it at the time.
Oh, yeah, I completely blanked on those flippers. I guess he found those in Thieves Town?
Somewhere in Thieves Town or the Village of Outcasts area, anyway, and I don't recall him having those walking in the front door.
Well, that is why we pay our tracker the big dollars.
That's why the trackers need to be the sung heroes rather than the unsung heroes, because, well, we could have missed that forever until Power to Mario decided, oh, I'm going to go do a flipper thing, and I don't have to pay flipper for it. And we'd go, wait, where did those come from?
Yeah, without the tracker, us as commentators, we have to actually remember and actually pay attention.
Imagine paying attention when you're commentating a race, right?
I'm just here to say things.
I make mouth noises. It's easy.
Ooh, that's a big hand.
That was an intentional hand. I think that was just a free ride back to the front of the middle of the dungeon.
Very nice hair pot set up there by Top Specialist.
Interesting, using a double hookshot strategy rather than the hookshot and tap left strategy to prevent the soft lock. I don't know that I'd seen that before, but it seems to have worked.
That can argue with the results. Ooh, just a little south of where I need to be. Meanwhile, Power to Mario is making a bit of a gamble. We don't have knowledge on Skullwoods' status as a dungeon, so this could be something, could be nothing. Very nice awareness there. I think
No, is in fact a little low and is going to have to go refill on magic. Speaking of being a little low, it looks like Top Specialist is still having a little trouble with this Hera. Oh no, has gotten the big chest this time. Just fell for an intentional reason, perhaps? I'm not entirely certain.
Probably doesn't know the bomb jump. I know I need to brush up on bomb jumps.
Going to see a lot of lantern usage here. Power to Mario going to make sure this time, the second time through, that we're actually going to get through and go visit the boss. Speaking of visiting bosses, Top Specialist and the Worm having a little face-off at the top of Tower of Hera.
Yeah, we don't know Hera's status either, so both players in dungeons that don't have a clearly defined status.
That can be the trick in Map Compass Shuffle. Sometimes you just have to go there and you found the map to this dungeon on the boss, and, well, hi, it's Crystal.
I always hate that.
That was a very nicely handled Mothiela fight by Power to Mario, who gets a piece of heart for the time and trouble, and that's a crystal as well.
Yeah, so both players making good gables for their dungeon dives. You love to see it.
Make a play, get rewarded. It's an easy game like that, right?
Super easy. I always, go where the items are.
Yeah, go right where the progression is. That's what my mentor Gamachu always told me.
And Gamachu is good at this game, so you know that's good advice.
Yeah, solid advice. Top runner.
And that is advice that'll win you 100% of your games. Ooh, Top Specialist found the mirror in Spiral Cave.
It's certainly a convenience, although now knowing where a couple more of the crystals are, maybe not going to be quite so required. The potential pendant status of Swamp Palace has been going up for a little while now.
I'm trying to remember because I said like win percentage. I know Gamma was on Fear Agent's podcast, and like Gamma has a crazy high win percentage on ladder.
I would have to look it up, but that does not surprise me.
I want to guess 60%. If I'm wrong, I'm sure someone will correct me. And it's the medallion we have zero knowledge about.
Ah, so it's Vanilla Medallion Day, huh?
Yep, it's one of those days.
Looks like Mario is done for Skullwoods at this point. That is the convenience of the compass functionality. From a commentator's perspective, you can tell when the runner has gotten everything in the dungeon because it says, well, you've got all the items.
It's like having your own little tracker in the game. Imagine having a tool in this game that lets you track dungeon items.
Looks like Top Specialist is going to go ahead and give us the Spike Cave play. Does have a, looks like a full or a full enough bar of magic plus that blue cane. Blue Cane has that initial startup cost, but then it drains much more slowly than the Cape.
It's gonna be close. I think he'll pull it off. Yeah, he pulls it off.
Oh, and having found that fire rod and the flippers, Power Mario not going to follow in Top Specialist footsteps and go get that hookshot from Meyer Jack and go up the mountain. Oh no, we're going to get to the Ice Palace play instead.
Oh, Tassos just walked right past a full magic refill.
Looks like we're probably getting a catfish play here.
Looks like it. Filling a bottle? No, there's. Oh, I guess there are bottles here.
Just the red, but it's certainly better than nothing. I do wonder, since it is entirely possible to mirror there and fill with a blue instead, and it's not as though money is any kind of an object for Top Specialist here.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Maybe you just didn't want to spend the additional time.
It's like, no time to waste. I gotta go check catfish. We got a compass for Eastern. So, hooray.
Maybe not the most efficient double Stalfos Knight room there from Power to Mario, but it was fun looking.
Looks like, ooh, nice splash delete from Top Specialists.
Yeah, very nicely done.
Meanwhile, Power Mario is showing us a good old-fashioned Ice Palace bomb jump. Nails on the first try. You don't see as many IPBJs as you used to with the advent of Icebreaker, but always good to have in your back pocket.
It's still a good trick to know because sometimes the red cane is just in here.
Answering question in chat, Aerosay 914. I believe the semifinal matches we have scheduled are both on Saturday or Saturday Sunday. I can pull it up real
I
quick.
believe it's Saturday, Sunday.
Okay. I know because I volunteered to calm those.
And that's exactly the thing that I'm talking about. Go ahead and learn your Ice Palace Bomb Jump, because sometimes the red cane is just an Icebreaker chest.
Oh.
And you go everywhere else looking for it, and, well, it's just been sitting there the whole time.
Yeah, that's always such a tease by the game.
You would have liked to have this first, wouldn't you? Well, too bad, runner. Know your other tech.
It's like Palpatine in Return of the Jedi when he has Luke's lightsaber. You want this, don't you? Top Specialist will no Moblin left alive.
They fling around dangerous pointy sticks. They're a danger to themselves and others. They have to be stopped.
They are a menace to the Dark World and must be stopped. Like, Village of Outcasts used to be a nice neighborhood until the Moblins showed up. I almost said the exact same thing for Top Specialist except for Powered Mario, thinking he was going to Thieves Town when, so I gotta check that C-shaped house.
I'm about to go see all of these wonderful long straightaways. I'd really like to have the boots first.
To which the game says, no.
Power Mario entered the room, realized I need to go into that side room first because I'm not going to have enough magic to make this work without spending a potion or something.
Yeah, no full health for Sword Beam strats either.
Now, I think Power Mario does still have that blue potion in the back pocket, so this should not be a problem.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things you just rather not do if you can help it at all.
And the problem was, it's not that that door won't open again, it's you have to pull the tongue on the right-hand side, not the left one, which was the only one Power Mario tried before giving up on it.
I, honest to God, did not know that. I thought that was just kind of like a, well, sucks to be you kind of room. So that's good to know. Okay, there's the flippers.
And Ice Palace was a regular old-fashioned pendant, so that seems to be the first miss amongst the dungeons that our runners have gone into without prior knowledge of the contents.
Yeah, but that cane pickup is definitely invaluable.
Yep, 100% required. We know that Misery Mire is not going to get done without it. The play into ice was necessary. It's just you could, at least theoretically, have gone in, gotten that cane, and said, I've seen enough. Mario finally going to get that information on Misery Mire's access medallion and the hookshot.
Yep, and from here, I imagine you'll probably follow Top's footprints and go to Mountain. Yep.
Which I think is just about all that he has left right at the moment. So since we have reached the hour mark of this, and our runners are right in the middle of giving us checks that the other runner has already done, this is our opportunity to say a few things, such as if you've been enjoying the show the runners have been putting on, go ahead and give them a follow. Top Specialist Power to Mario putting themselves out there for your entertainment on this Tuesday evening.
Yes, always good when people volunteer to restream. It can be kind of nerve-wracking to put yourself out there, so definitely give these two a follow for volunteering to put the show on for us.
Should probably already go ahead and give another shout out to our tracker Jinxie Girl, who's been pushing all those buttons to make sure that Lucian and I stay in line here.
I refuse to stay in line.
Well, at least within visual range of the line. I think we've managed that much.
I'm a loose cannon cum who doesn't play by the rules.
Wait, there are rules?
Allegedly.
I'll be curious to see how far Power to Mario wants to go with this play, having already picked up that red cane, does have the access to Misery Mire, does have the knowledge that that is the other 5-6 crystal that would put Pyramid Fairy into play.
Yeah, I don't think... Yeah, Power Mario does not have Hera knowledge, so... Bit of a gamble. We'll see if he... It looks like he's following through on it.
Which is going to work out for him. It's just one of those things where I wondered, well, I have this other bit of knowledge of a thing that I know is something that I need to go ahead and beat the game. Do I want to go do that first? But nope, just going to stay up here on the mountain, do a little more. It's going to work out.
I guess you kind of had your bet by, if you get with the hook shot and hair pot, hair is a pretty quick clear if you forego the basement. So it's kind of like I'm already up here. I'd rather go all the way to Moldorm and finish it out rather than skip it and have to make another trip all the way up the mountain. Top Special celebrates with his victory V.
And evens that crystal count back up. Is going to be able to go up to Skull Woods next as well, having that fire rod in hand. So while they've gone about it in different orders, both of our runners are going to be pretty even on crystals when we hit the 5 crystal marker. At just a hair over an hour here.
Yeah, pretty even race so far. That's what you love to see. Alright, so there's one more pen out here, so it's either Desert Palace or Swamp. I don't think we picked up either of those maps yet, have we?
I do not believe so, and Howard Mario has access to neither of them, and Top Specialist has access to both.
And that mirror was in Spiral Cave, correct?
Correct. So it's very likely that Mario is going to have the access to everything here in the very near future, with the exception of Pendant Turtle Rock, but again, Pendant Turtle Rock. Or not, as the case may be. I then thought about dodging that duck, and now decides against dodging the duck.
Oh, I was going for the Meyer play. Yeah, I was trying to figure out.
Play, and it kind of interesting. Decided to stay on the mountain just long enough to do an unknown provenance dungeon and get rewarded with crystal, but not quite long enough to gain access to the last couple of dungeons, one of which is going to be required. Now, if it's desert, and the book is, say, here in Misery Mire, then Power to Mario is going to look like a genius.
Playing that fifth dimensional chess play.
It also seems possible, just because the game likes to do this sort of thing, the boots will be in here. The boots locked behind the hookshot or vice versa is very common. So Mario is kind of inching towards a 6th crystal here, but is not going to have access to either of the remaining dungeons, most likely. While Top Specialist is simply going to have choices. But can't particularly go about clearing everything either, because Ice Palace has the red cane, and the red cane is going to lock you out from completing Misery Mire. Kind of an interesting position that our runners have found themselves in.
Yeah, I'm wondering where Tops can go next.
I would not be terribly surprised by a swamp play or a play into desert. Maybe desert would be a little more surprising, just because you're guaranteed that something's going to be on the torch, and it's a little less likely to be something completely valueless. But I don't know. I'm just sitting here talking about the seed. They're the ones running, and alright, it's going to be the ice play.
Excellent. Good. So that would be go mode for top then, right? Wouldn't it?
Upon pickup of the red cane and, well, preferably some additional dungeon knowledge, but as far as the ability to clear everything that needs to be cleared, yeah, just picking up that red cane will do it.
That's assuming that Desert is the final crystal and is not boots locked. Or, well, I guess either of those things. So boots could still be in play, but it's not super likely.
And it does seem more likely that Top is going to find the things on the way, or at least close enough to on the way.
Power to Mario, in my opinion, one of the most painful walks in this game is going back to that validation, or not from validation, cutscene chest. I'm tired, ignore me. But always, in my opinion, it's always a painful walk to go back for that cutscene chest.
Yeah, it's one of those locations that you never want to go unless you know it has something you're looking for.
Alright, let's see how good Top's IPVK is. I say pretty darn good.
Pretty good.
Now, the good news is, without that mirror, Power Mario is not really going to have a whole lot of messing around he can do to find that mirror, does he?
Could opt for mirrorless smiths. I believe still has catfish on the table. That really it's a bunch of pretty terrible checks. Or you can go back up the mountain and look at Dark Mountain, which is a whole lot of density. And while you're up there, maybe you just go ahead and do Spiral Cave, which is where we know he needs to be.
Yeah, I would imagine, just by the numbers game, that Mountain is going to be the play.
And we'll see what kind of a vitreous fight we get here in just a minute. I'll expect probably that the cape is going to come out.
Yeah, that's always good news. Because I'm always pretty wary when Vitreous is a late game fight, breaking out and using all your arrows on this fight, especially if you're not using silvers, is always kind of a scary idea. Because I've had it happen once where I burned all my arrows on Vitreous and I had nothing left for the mimics to climb up Ganon's tower. And just some bombs. So, Power Mario has a few choices on his hands.
Given that Power of Mario is apparently out of bombs at that particular point in time, that's not the worst item to find on the boss there, since we know that the item that he really needs was never going to appear.
Yeah, as far as consolation prizes go, he could do a lot worse. Going for Smiths?
Pyramid Fairy, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Puffs seem to have gotten a little out of hand here. Top Specialist is in Oko range from the Puffs, can take one icicle before it becomes a problem. Has a couple of Puffs down now, though, so ought to be able to bring this one on home.
Excellent, good.
The reward of a pendant is not the greatest, but you have to feel pretty good about bringing that fight home.
Yeah, sometimes the moral victories are always nice. What if there's possibility of boots on ped? That'd be funny.
Funny, but not ha-ha funny. Oh, hey, we've got a vanilla butter sword and Quake to get into Turtle Rock. That's a little dangerous. But it
Oh,
may bring Power to Mario up into a location that he needs to visit.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, so we've had one vanilla sword, we've had one French vanilla sword. Oh, I completely forgot about Back of Escape.
Well, hi, Back of Escape. Nice to see you at an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah, the very rare hour 15 Back of Escape play.
And with that, Mario is back on the mountain. We know that this is where he does need to be.
Hopefully he goes for that Spiral Cave before beelining TR. That's the real risk going in right now.
Without the mirror, if it's on your mind at all, you do have to do it first. And it looks like that is out of sight, out of mind for Power to Mario.
Answer Balthasar in chat. I believe Top is playing as Growlithe.
Ah, the shovel, something else that can drag Power to Mario further away from where he needs to be. Now, it is still possible that the desert is our remaining crystal dungeon and that it is hard boots locked. If those things are the case, then Power to Mario may still be on something that resembles the right track.
Nice, so close, but a world away.
But it looks like Top Specialist is willing to treat this as go mode, at least for the moment.
Oh, go in the Spike Cave. Okay, so we might still be game on here, because he's going to save and quit out of Spike Cave. So maybe that'll put back Light World Mountain?
That was a very dangerous game that Power to Mario was playing right there.
He's back at his house. He's going to go for that shovel.
Picking up the shovel, which is the only thing that he found as kind of a one-off, makes some sense here. And a flute to 3, I believe this is going to be Mirrorless Smiths.
Oh, that you never like the Mirrorless Smiths.
Cape and spin strats from Top Specialist rather than the cape and slash that Power to Mario was using.
A little bit of a dangerous game there, because I think that lightning would have won it KO'd him.
I think the lightning does either 2 or 3. It's certainly not 4. The eyeball, the big eyeball, would do 4.
Okay.
And the small ones would do 3. Interesting. So Power to Mario had not, in fact, gone and done Stumpy yet, so may still be picking up Mirrorless Smith, but is kind of just wrapping up other checks in the area first.
Oh, no big game either.
Alright, so now we have questions, and Top Specialist is going to begin answering them. Is Desert Palace boots locked? And then, if it is, or even if it isn't, is it the crystal? Not even going to look at the boots lock information, we're just going to go straight to the middle chest, which is going to tell us the same thing.
Not boots locked.
Now, this becomes interesting in a lot of facets, because the small key could have been on the torch there, which would mean that it was logically boots locked. If we then run into a situation where the GT big key is on the torch, that's really good information about where to go looking or not go looking for boots. And that's information that Top Specialist has chosen not to have.
I think at this point, Top's likely just trying to blitz the rest of the dungeons.
Ah, the map to Ice Palace. Thanks, game. There was no way we were going to pick that up in advance.
Yeah, Rando gets pretty cruel like that sometimes. Alright, so we're back on the mountain. Alright, moment of truth. And dependent. So that leaves Swamp House as our 7th crystal.
And means that all of the speculation about what a small key on the torch might have meant was ultimately pretty meaningless, because now the boots could just be in GT anyway, because you didn't have to have them to clear a crystal dungeon. A potentially boots-locked crystal dungeon.
Alright, Power Mario did not warp this time, so I think we're going to be on the right track here.
And if he picks up the mirror and decides to make swamp rather than desert his play, all of a sudden we've got a race. No, it looks like he's just going this way because he needs to be in the light world to open Turtle Rock. This is unfortunate.
It really is. Maybe GT Big Key is on the torch and boots are in TR?
That would be the out. Given the way that Power to Mario is working on this at the moment, that would decidedly be the out.
Oh yeah, LOTB in chat pointing out because of logical boot requirements for that's assuming the key was on Torch, which I think it would have been. Boots can't be on the pedestal because logical key logic.
Again, it's all predicated on that small key being on the Desert Torch, though. If that was just 3 bombs or some random compass, then it really doesn't matter. The alternative is that the small key is in the big chest, so you go middle for the big key to pick up the small key to put the dungeon in logic.
Right, I was trying to think if there was any other third option there. Well, half magic is nice.
It's a nice convenience item. It is not going to save you the time of a full total rock clear if you don't find full hard lock required boots for Ganon's Tower in here, though. Power to Mario's outs are dwindling rapidly.
And top specialists say no thank you to literally everything along the way that's not nailed down.
May opt for the checks here in Diver Down Room. They're reasonably quick in the grand scheme of things. Just in case you can find boots, they would make your life an awful lot easier.
Yeah, I generally do. It's as close to a free check if you're in go mode as you're going to get.
And I, for one, have no idea how this version of Diver Down works.
I think this is the Andy setup. I think I remember seeing this in a video a long time ago from Andy on how to do Diver Down. Also, I don't know if that came through, but apparently it is storming where I'm at right now. That are some big leftover fireworks.
Ah, the map to Thieves Town. Thanks, game.
Yeah, sometimes there's a cruel sense of humor. Alright, so Power Mario gets a key for a key.
Now, you know what the cruel and unusual punishment to all of this would be? If the boots are in Mimic Cave, and the boots are required.
Oh no. That helps nobody.
Ooh, Top Specialist is on a heart and a half trying to wrap this Argus fight up.
Okay.
Living a bit dangerously, but does get the job done.
Yeah, Tom's been playing, living on the edge for some of these boss fights, but pulling them off very nicely. Alright, well that is crystal number 7. Do you know what time it is?
Tool time?
Yes. Yes it is. But also, it is time for the Ganon's Tower Big Key guessing game. In Ganon's Tower Basement, there are 22 checks. One of them has the fabled Ganon's Tower Big Key necessary to go up the tower. So, get your guesses in chat, 1 through 22, to see where that big key ends up. The winner gets us acknowledging that you guessed the number right. What do you think?
Oh, I think it's going to be fair. 6-ish, yeah.
You know what? I'm usually a stickler for 22, but I'm gonna play the long con here. I'm gonna say check 1 on Torch.
Speaking of our runners living dangerously, Power to Mario is on 3.5 hearts heading towards Trinex.
Did he take the safety door? I didn't see him take the safety
No,
door.
he did not take the safety door. Kinda surprised with 0 magic there, although... No, he didn't save scum that mushroom. Never mind, I'm looking at the tracker and seeing mushroom and thinking, oh yeah, mushroom. Oh good, a mushroom, but no.
Now, granted, you know, Gold Sword kind of mitigates any threat Trinex poses.
It's reasonably unlikely that the fight goes poorly, but then that's always the way it is when you walk into the fight until the fight starts going poorly.
Yeah, maybe Trinex's head jukes your fire rod shot, and all of a sudden you're off kilter.
Then because you're over there for a little longer, there's some ice on the floor, and then you're trying to get at the ice head, and yeah, things start happening at that point.
Check the ped. Check the ped. Oh, he's saving quitting.
And Ped is not checkable to Power to Mario because he has no way into Desert Palace and has no book.
Yeah, I guess that's a technicality.
He is going to go ahead and check Green Pendant, though. We could have Vanilla Boots. Just a Mirror Shield and a Full Heart Container, the first 2 items Top Specialist has found. So let's see, do we need to find boots on this seed?
Oh.
We do not.
Plus, the one time I don't guess 22 is going to be on Tile Room now.
Look at all of these lovely small keys. And 20 rupees.
Getting a purple chest check.
I think this is the purple chest check. I don't know that Power to Mario has all that many things left.
Feels weird hearing pendant music for GT.
Yeah, imagine hearing the vanilla music when you're not playing an MG anymore.
Well, not just that, just like the pendant music. Usually I'm used to the the crystal, dark
Dark World Dungeon music, yep.
Yeah.
But when you have your map shuffled, and there's our big key, that was, what, 9? 9, I think yep, 9 it is.
Jay Sauer, 1975, guessed right in chat. So, GG, you actually won the seed. Oh no. Okay.
Boomerang gets the job done. Good quick thinking there.
I'll say I've never seen that happen before. Oh no.
And it does appear that Power to Mario is down to a last location and does seem to be heading, at last, in the correct direction. Top Specialist about to enter the gauntlet here. This is the execution portion of the program. This is where you have to do the thing that you've done probably hundreds of times before. Looks to be having a pretty good go of it so far.
Yeah, pretty nice gauntlet.
Opting for some Tempered Sword spins here to conserve magic. We're going to need some more magic here in the next handful of rooms.
This is generally my strategy, because I am not good at NMG Lamo. Although I had a crash course in NMG Lamo recently.
It's not all that bad of a fight, but in a lot of cases, if I'm going to have to wait around in the previous room, make myself a fairy out of the bunny beam there, I'll just go for the Yuzuhara spin strat instead, which is a lot of fun, although I don't find it all that easy to pull off, but you can one-cycle the fight by laying a Samaria block down and then spinning all 3 worms, provided you've left yourself some time in the previous room to cause them all to spawn at the same time.
Yeah, I've heard about that. There's something you can do in the bunny beam room to manipulate the spawning of the Lambos, right?
Yep, you just wait. You just spend a little time there. The time it takes to powder the bunny beam, pick up the fairy, and then stand in the door and charge your sword. That's enough time.
Okay.
Power to Mario, once again, living a little dangerously here, down to 2 hearts. Still a couple of rooms away from the Land Molas. And Top Specialist, I believe, burned a red potion, keeping hope alive here on the GT climb.
Gonna want that magic refill. Oh no! That's unfortunate.
That is never what you want to see. That eye laser said, nope, you're trying to lift that pot. Well, too bad. Now your shield's not in the way. Zopped.
Pro tip for anyone watching unfamiliar: if you go beneath the pot, if you lift that pot from the bottom, that puts you completely out of the line of fire for that laser eye. You can lift that pot safely, get your magic refill, and a heart on the one on the far left.
Similarly, you can lift it from the top with exactly the same function. Just don't try and lift it from the side.
Yeah, that's how you get laser to the face.
Power to Mario does take down the Land Molas in Desert Palace, unfortunately finds out the same thing Top Specialist found out. Yep, that's the other pendant dungeon. Top Specialist having another go at the gauntlet here. The second trip through doesn't seem to be going nearly so well. Back down to 4 hearts already.
And say no to that small heart refill, too.
Don't know that that's a choice that I would have made, but it is a choice that you can make.
Good health is more of a suggestion than a rule.
Seems to be putting those spins to work again.
Once again, say no to health.
Yeah, it likes those full magic decanters. The small hearts, not so much.
Which, granted, if I just, was walking through, an evil tower and there's just like a heart laying on the floor, I probably wouldn't pick it up either.
That does seem like a bad idea, doesn't it? Well, maybe that's why Link and all of these Link ancillary people are heroes and we are not.
It takes true courage to pick up a random human heart off the ground and just. I don't know. I don't want to finish that sentence. I don't know what Link does with those hearts.
The world may be better off not knowing.
It is. I'm picturing Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom.
Alright, this time Top Specialist is going to lift that from the top. Says, I'm not getting sniped here a second time, which makes a lot of sense. While Pirate Mario does have the 7th crystal, has the full set. We were not playing all dungeons today, but Pirate Mario is going to be able to say, I did all dungeons.
Oh, I was really hoping that was a sync heart.
That would have been a very timely sync heart. Nice cape there from Top Specialist, going to go ahead and make sure that nothing untoward happened.
Oh, talk about convenient.
One magic bag full of swag in the penultimate chest of the game.
Never say Ganon never did anything for us. Is Power doing a ped pull?
It looks like we're going to go ahead and get a blind ped pull from Power to Mario.
Well then.
Says, well, I've made all of these mistakes. I may as well play to the crowd. Let's go ahead and see what is on the ped. It is a complete paradox. Okay, video. Oh, Power to Mario, no. No, you have to read it after you blind pull the book. That's the whole joke. Well, that's fine. I'll give him trouble about that here in a few minutes when he comes in and joins us.
Oh man, this game proof that this game has a sense of humor.
Now, Top Specialist has burned down essentially that entire bar of magic, caping through that one last hellway before Agate 2. I'm not sure if there's still anything in the bottles, but we may, in fact, see a trip over to the potion shop after Agate 2 is finished up here.
Definitely looking like it. I think he might have one blue potion in reserve.
If he has one blue potion in reserve, that is enough to get the job done. It's just, I'm not sure if he has one blue potion in reserve anymore.
Chad is confirming Top did use the blue, so yeah, not most likely, gonna need a trip to that potion shop.
Yep, no magic is no way to get through this. Unless you are a task, there is no way to get 4 sticks into the pig, even if we had them, which we don't, before you have to light that torch at least once to keep Ganon vulnerable.
But Top is giving it a go, so Uh,
Maybe we in chat are wrong, and there is still a magic refill available in one of those bottles. Or it's possible, I suppose, that Top Specialist knows the Samaria refill trick.
he's one bat away from death. And there it is.
And now no bats away from death.
Technically infinite bats away from death now.
Well, there we go. Now we have a look at the menu, and we do know that there is a blue potion there amongst those 3 bottles.
We all got fooled. I'm curious where those silvers ended up. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Right into the trident. Yep, that's a thing that can happen in that fight. Phase 1 and Phase 2 are really the tricky portions of the fight. After you get through those, as long as you're not on some kind of serious tourney nerves, worried about the ultimate outcome of the race, whether or not it has an impact on your standing in, say, a tournament that you're playing in, then the last 2 phases pretty easy.
Yep, I'm curious where those silvers ended up, because all things considered, I think we got pretty much every single check in the game except the compass room of Ganon Sour.
Yep, they could be behind unseen checks in GT, or they could be in the portion of Swamp Palace that we didn't see.
Alright, no, I guess it could be in the randomizer room too, or Ice Armos.
Power to Mario going to go ahead and start the climb here. Top Specialist having the second go at the pig, going to go ahead and cape up and hold on to that wall a little bit. This is a problem though, because there was only the 1 blue potion, and now the magic meter is... You may... No, well, now... Oh no, there was... He got that full magic decanter off of a moblin outside, that's right. I was like, where did the magic come from? He had to have burned the potion. No, he didn't have to have burned the potion. Pay attention. It's an easy game. All you have to do is watch.
I don't know, that sounds a bit much. He's definitely gonna want to get this torch glitch. Oh wow, just do not give us a chance to see where those ooh, missing
Basement. Did you find the arrows in Tower of Hera?
Oh, of course it's Hera Basement. Alright, Top is gonna be against the clock now with that torch glitch. Yeah, not a lot of room for error with the way this is choosing to play out here.
Meanwhile, Power to Mario is up into the second half of GT Climb here in floor 5.
Ooh, careful.
And Top Specialist has 1 Fire Bat left to give.
I don't know how many hits we're on.
No, I've been a little too engrossed watching the attempts to get doubles, and a lot of these doubles have not been working.
I think with this, you have to catch him mid-warp to pull off a double.
Should only have a couple left here, but again, until you get that last spin into the pig, you continue worrying about it.
Ooh, and a couple whiffs. Oh boy. We are down to the wire.
As Power to Mario puts Moldorm 2 out to pasture, heading for Aga, but there we go, finally 12 spins into the pig, top specialist, down to the very last of his available resources. Go ahead and get your GGs in chat, because that is going to go ahead and put the game away.
Yeah, good on you for keeping your wits about you, because you're down to your last bit of magic. You're down to your last heart. Your heart's got to be racing at that moment.
Yep, any mistake at that point, and you know you're doing the entire thing over again. Power to Mario playing the game here with the wizard, the second wizard, of which there are 3. We've got 1 wizard, and then we have a second wizard, of which there are 3. Yeah, this works. Checks out.
All right, so top specialist finishes with an official race time of 1:50.47, which is good for 3rd overall in the race room out of 10 people. First place is Kaede Rukawa. Second place, Captain 1977, finishing with 1:37.09 and 1:45.14 respectively. So, GG on 3rd place finish.
Hey, Top, good game to you. Welcome in.
Hello there.
GG, good. I was saying, like, keeping nerves of steel at the end of that Ganon fight.
Yeah. I was freaking out.
But you kept it together, pull off the win.
Yeah, and it was well done. You did start to find the rhythm on getting those doubles off of the lamp lighting with the non-torch glitch there on towards the second half of it, which was good to watch.
Yeah, I'm definitely not practiced with Silverless, but I know how to do it, and that's what counted today.
Yeah, I'd be hard-pressed to guess that anyone got those silvers. Ooh, Power Mario misses the torch glitch as well, so... But half magic in hand, it's going to be a little less stressful on the magic part of it.
Can go ahead and use the fire rod. Looks like he's going to go ahead and switch to the lantern here, but not really required.
Yeah, God only knows where the boots were in this seed.
Probably deeper in Ganon's tower than anyone went.
Yeah, at this point, that's why I'd be willing to bet.
Oh wow, the book on Ped, apparently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Power to Mario left the Spiral Cave check for his literal last location, so had already pulled the Turtle Rock pendant by the time the mirror fell to hand, and then did exactly the same thing you did in going to Desert Palace before Swamp. And so had all the pendants, and I'm going to guess, although we'll find out hopefully here in another minute or so, if this was actually the case, thought, You know what? I'll just go ahead and put on the show, having already made the mistake. But there we go, 12 spins into the pig from Power to Mario. That's gonna do it there as well.
Get your GGs in the chat for Power to Mario, who will finish with an official race time of 1:54.46.
That is good for the 4th place finish out of our 10 entrants in the race today. So our 2 restreamed runners, back-to-back, 3rd and 4th. Good show.
Yes, very nice.
I see our first overall finisher there in chat, Rukawa Kaide, saying that Ice having Samaria in the Icebreaker chest was really annoying.
Yeah, that's like one of the worst teases this game could put out for you.
And we are joined in the booth as well by Power to Mario. Good game to you.
GG.
Yeah, GG.
GG Top. There's only one sentence that I can use to accurately describe that seed that I just played. It spiraled way out of control.
It did that. So now that we have both of you, thoughts on the early game of this seed? To both of you, really, were you having the same kind of thoughts that we were here in the booth, that the seed was really trying to hard funnel you towards that Aga play?
Yeah.
Definitely, I held out hope that I was going to get a glove somewhere, and no, but that was fine, though. I mean, it seemed like a really quick Aga, though, all things considered.
Yeah, Top, you bit the bullet on that play a little earlier than Power to Mario did. Mario, you did some out-of-logic checks. You made sure to check absolutely everything. Top, you first. Mindset on just kind of heading for the wizard?
I don't think I had any checks left in logic.
Well, you had at the time bypassed, I think, both the mountain play where the hammer was and Saha's closet.
Oh, that's right. I had to go back for the closet because I had forgotten it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah,
no,
Mario decided that the entire fake flipper suite was in order before making the Aga play.
Yeah, I had a lot of money, so I figured, got money, I've got Pearl, why not? But fortunately, I didn't net really anything, so. Mitts and Pod, though, that's fun.
Yeah, both gloves and pod. That's like double
Yeah.
gloves. One for each hand.
Yeah, and Pod's got a lot of checks. It's got the, in this mode, it's got the most check. I know it doesn't, Swamp Palace does, so technically, but TR and Pod have 7 checks each, so it was nice to be able to logically get Pod out of the way really early. And it felt really good, like the first, oh my gosh, first hour of the seed felt extremely good. Like, getting everything, the Ice Palace dip was really, really fun. I'm like, I don't normally pendant dip Ice Palace so early, but I've got everything. I've got flippers, mitts, hammer. Like, I've got everything I need. And thankfully, it paid out. And then I made 4 trips up the mountain instead of 1, unfortunately. That stunk.
Yeah, I was ecstatic when I found the Kena Samaria in Ice Palace. I was like, there's nobody going here yet.
Except maybe Cade.
Yeah, judging by the times, I would say that Kaede definitely made the majority of the correct calls for this seed.
Ugh.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I don't even know what my finish time would have been if I just taken the time and dropped into Spiral before doing Hera, what this would have been. I still would have gone Desert Palace first, though, without map knowledge, so that's still another pendant dungeon.
I did think it was interesting because you had both of the gloves because you'd done pod at that point, so you could have just backtracked over, gone through Spiral Cave, and then made the checks on Dark Mountain.
Right, fair enough.
At the time, you were still missing enough things that Lucian and I were both at least a little surprised that that wasn't the route you took.
Yep, I didn't even think about Spiral Cave when I went and did the Dark Mountain play, so that's a lesson learned.
Now, let's talk about that book.
I thought you all might be entertained by that. I figured I put in the work to get all the pendants, so why not just see what's on there?
Like, I worked hard for these pendants, dang it. I'm going to use them.
For sure, for sure.
But then you didn't read it.
I mean, you can't, right? Oh, you mean like actually take the book and see, that's the kind of thinking I need. Mien knows.
Yeah, once you've committed to the meme, you have to carry through, right?
Yeah. Didn't think about that one. So, an opportunity lost there. But, yeah, book on Ped, huh? That's funny. No boots, right? No one got boots.
I don't know where the boots were.
Probably on right side GT. Or it could have been checkerboard or 45, potentially.
Left side swamp.
Yep, that too, I guess.
Oh, it's a secret lost to time.
Oh, so Kaede, it's probably left side then, yeah. Oy.
Yeah, what a seed, eh?
It was fun though, very fun race.
Yeah, that was fun. Thanks.
So how did you enjoy Map Compass Shuffle without the bosses being randomized?
It was throwing me because I'm like I'm just I'm so because I did so many of those in the Challenge Cup that I just wanted to instinctively look at the map, and I kept having to remind myself silently, like, no, this is not boss enemizer. This is not boss enemizer. This is not boss enemizer. You're good. You can go in this dungeon. It's okay.
Like, helicopter can't hurt you.
Oh boy, yeah, I would. It would be entertaining to be certain if this weekly race was a boss enemizer map compass shuffle. Speaking of, maybe we can do that. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
That's a question for the people who sign our checks.
All right, it looks like we've reached the end screen on both sides. So, Top Specialist, having taken this thing home on the restream, final thoughts?
I mean, I was playing pretty poorly, but I got really lucky with some of the gambles I took today, so I'm happy about the win today.
And power to Mario. How about you?
Believe in Spiral Cave.
A location not soon to be forgotten. All right, Lucian, I think this is the part where we start wrapping this thing up. It has been a pleasure.
As always, I think you and I have commented a few games in the past few weeks together.
Yeah, certainly not the first time.
So yeah, always a pleasure. As we said before, feel free to follow both of our racers, Power to Mario and Top Specialist. Go ahead and give a follow to both my co-commentator, Mayan DM, and myself, as well as GC Girl, our tracker, who, as always, keeps us honest in chat and with the tracker. And give a follow to Speed Gaming, Speed Gaming 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and some foreign language options for those who speak those languages.
Yeah, we have 4 different languages available. I think Deutsche has a couple of channels. Then Espanol, Portuguese, and Francais have at least one each. it becomes difficult to remember because over time I feel like all of these just kind of keep proliferating a little bit. But yeah, you can do all of those things if you want to keep in touch with the Speed Gaming family of channels. If you want to know what else is going on Speed Gaming, go to speedgaming.org/schedule, where you can find out what else is going on today, what else is coming up in the near future. And with that, I think we've said all of the things that need to be said here. Everybody out there in Chatland, please have a wonderful rest of your day. I think it's time for us to shut this thing down, and if there's something else going on, I expect that we will be shifted right over there via a raid very shortly.
Have a good night, everyone.